Nintendo news, viewer questions, player spotlight, and our Nintendo Time Portal is all coming up. Stay tuned! The NintendoChitChat podcast starts shortly. Support this podcast by blasting that like button, sharing the stream, and subscribing right now. Gamers, get ready! The Nintendo Chit-Chat podcast with your hosts Eddy Ray and Samantha Lienhard starts right now.
All right, we are live. Welcome, everybody. We are, for the first time, broadcasting this podcast live on both YouTube Live and Facebook. We got about 50K followers and likes on Facebook, so if you haven't done so, go over there now. Search Nintendo Chit-Chat. We post all of our content there, from our news articles, our time portal, and we'll be doing the podcast there too, so if you prefer that platform, go right there and show some love for your support by liking and hearting it, and yeah, working out pretty well actually, I think. So we got a ton of things to talk about, guys. This is the episode 24 Super Smash Bros. Ultimate E3 wrap-up of the Nintendo Chit Chat podcast. Must apologize to you guys, too, in chat. We have YouTube chat live on our stream, but the names are in black. I have no idea why. I tried fixing it earlier. I usually have yellow. I didn't change a thing. Maybe XSplit has an update for the plugins. I'm not quite sure. So we'll figure that out next time, I guess. But either way, I can see who's chatting, who's not. So how are you guys? We got Biwa, Nita, Fluffy, Demetrius, Dank, Sagan, and Rabbit as well. Good to see you guys out there. Make sure you share the stream, show your support, hit the like button, and we'll bring Samantha on here in about a minute or two. Do want to go over a few things with you guys. So, as you know, this podcast takes a lot of time and effort and some money to put together every week, so we appreciate any support you can give us, whether it's sharing and tweeting out the stream to your friends, spreading the word for us, or through Streamlabs donations, Super Chat, of course, YouTube sponsorships as well. I want to give a big shout out to Anita, Fluffy, Ashley, Cliff, Katetsu, Biwa, Christina, and Samantha for all of the work here the past year or so, if not more, for the channel. Everything you guys do, really appreciate it. All right, guys. Enough of that said, we have the news bites of June 10th through the 16th. E3 wrap-up coming your way in a bit. Stay tuned. Be right back.
You're listening to the Nintendo Chit-Chat podcast with your hosts, Eddy Ray and Samantha Lienhard. We'll be right back after the short break. Grab the audio version of the Nintendo Chit-Chat podcast on iTunes, Google Music, SoundCloud, or Player FM. You're listening to the Nintendo Chit-Chat podcast with your hosts, Eddy Ray and Samantha Lienhard.
All right, guys, we are back. Welcome back. Got a bunch of things happening here at once. But we got a ton of stuff to talk about with you, so keep chatting away. Yeah, so a lot of hype for Smash, I can tell already in chat, which is good. But let's bring on our writer and editor. We have Samantha Lienhard back. Samantha, welcome to the podcast post E3.
Thank you.
And we'll be discussing a lot of the E3 announcements here from Nintendo. Plus, we have a few of your questions too, guys, which refer to E3. So we'll discuss more about that probably later on. But you want to dive into the first bit of business, I guess, for the E3 news, Samantha?
All right, sounds good.
Awesome. So the Direct ended up being, I think, about 45 minutes, if I recall. Is that right?
That sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of caught me off guard. I thought we'd get a lot more announcements, but
So did
I think a good 20 minutes was Smash news.
25.
25, so there you go, yeah. But with that other portion of 20 minutes, we have quite a number of things to talk about, so let's get into it. The first piece of business is, well, it kicked off, actually, with Marvelous announcing a new mech game. And what's this game called?
Yeah, so this is called Demon Ex Machina, and this is coming out in 2019. It appears that it is a spiritual successor to the Armored Core games, I believe.
Okay, yeah. I was watching some Treehouse footage of this game. When I first saw it in the Direct, by the way, I have to admit, I thought it was a Skell from Xenoblade Chronicles X.
That popped into my mind, too.
Yeah, the first few seconds, I'm like,
oh. Wait a minute.
Yeah, because the game is way too heavily stylized for that. I'm like, after a while, I'm like, this doesn't quite look right to me, though, if it's a port of that. So this is, I guess, a brand new game then, yeah?
Yes.
Awesome. And is this exclusively for Switch?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, very cool.
I'll just double check that quick. But
yeah,
yes,
I was thinking it was,
exclusively for the Switch.
Okay, yeah, it looked great. So lots of mech battles here, lots of upgrades with weapons. You can do combat on the ground, in the air, or while you're in the air to the ground and ground to air and such. So tons of combat, lots of weapons, and this launches in 2019. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. Moving on, we got some Super Mario Party announced, and this is coming out when?
October 5th, so only a few months away, really.
Awesome. So they're kicking this off before the holiday release, I guess, of Smash Bros. So we'll have this in October. Awesome. Then we also have Fire Emblem Three Houses, which we have a title for now. And that's officially for what date? Any date yet?
Spring Yeah, spring 2019, they said. So that's still a ways off.
Yeah, I think some people thought they wanted it to be 2018 still, but apparently not. So we'll see it in 2019, the first half, I think. So, but the footage looked great. What did you think of what you saw so far from it?
Oh, yeah, I've never played a lot of Fire Emblem, but it looked interesting at least.
Yeah, this is the first console version that we've had since the Wii days, I believe. So I'm looking forward to this. So that's Fire Emblem Three Houses. Hey, thanks, Frank. It says, nice Fallout shirt. Well, I had to wear it today because of Bethesda, but... All right, we have a sequel. We have Overcooked 2 announced, correct?
Yes, and I think I missed the release date before, but I believe that is coming out in August.
Cool, so that's coming to the Switch and other consoles as well. And there'll be a bunch of new recipes in this game, so not just burgers being made here, guys. I think they actually added sushi.
Mechanics too.
Yeah, they had some new mechanics. They added sushi in the game too. So lots of sushi love lately, which is kind of weird.
Lots of food games, which is also weird.
for sure. So that's Overcooked 2. I still have to play the first, by the way. I bought it a while ago and need to catch up on it. It looks pretty fun. All right, moving along, we have an 8-player action platformer called Killer Queen Black, coming to the Switch and PC in the first quarter of 2019. Any thoughts about that one, Samantha?
Well, it looked interesting. Not really my sort of thing necessarily, since it's mainly focused on the multiplayer idea, but it does look and sound interesting.
Yeah, I'm surprised they actually gave this time in the Direct itself. I think it could have been like a Treehouse announcement possibly, but they put it in the Direct, so there you go. It gives it its due, I guess, in the Direct is Killer Queen Black. So it's coming to the Switch and PC, again, in first quarter of 2019. Then, of course, we all know Fortnite, the worst kept secret of E3, is coming to the Switch. Well, actually, it's available right now. It's been available since the 1 p.m., I think, the day of the Direct, East Coast time. So then we also have Hollow Knight, too. Now, what is Hollow Knight?
Yeah, so Hollow Knight is a Metroidvania-style game, and people have been really looking forward to this one because it came out for the PC and people loved it. So it was confirmed for the Switch a long time ago, and it didn't have a release date, and people kept wondering when it was coming, so it's out. It's out now.
So that was a nice surprise, actually, to have in the Direct. I remember actually hearing about this a long time ago. I'm like, okay, where is it? So now we know. It's out. All right, and then Dragon Ball Fighter Z is also coming to the Switch. I believe the Treehouse also did some footage of this game, so it looks really good. Good fighting game.
I found it interesting that this one they didn't really highlight in the Direct as a new announcement. It was just kind of included in the montage of other games that had already been announced.
And this is actually a pretty big franchise or series, so yeah, it's kind of a weird thing they did there. And overall, the whole Direct itself wasn't really any kind of special theme to it, just kind of like a professional kind of video Direct. So there was no like Muppets of, there's no special Smash Bros characters popping in and out of the Direct at all. So it's kind of a straightforward Direct they presented to us. But either way, we'll talk more about that as the time goes on here in the podcast. Then we have, this is really cool, the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 expansion. What's this called?
Yeah, so this is called Torna, the Golden Country. It is a prequel to Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And so that's coming on September 14th, but there is also going to be a standalone retail copy coming out on September 21st. And that appears to be, the way they phrase it on the website is very confusing, but it at least appears that you would be able to get that and play it even if you haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So if you're interested in the universe, then you could get Torna the Golden Country on its own to kind of be introduced to this game universe.
So even if you don't own Xenoblade Chronicles 2, you can still play this one?
I think so. It's phrased in a very confusing way. It says, because it says then that it includes a... Yes. The website says it comes with the download code for the expansion pass, which then has a little asterisk by it and says needs the main Xenoblade Chronicles 2 game to play it. So there's been a lot of debate about whether that means that you need Xenoblade Chronicles 2 to play Torna the Golden Country 2. But I think no. I think because they did describe it as standalone, and in the Treehouse they were talking about how you could play it even if you haven't played a Xenoblade game before. So I think it'll be standalone.
I think the price too is almost to the point where it's kind of like a retailish type price as well. Isn't it like $40, I think?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so standalone makes me think it's going to be totally separate, that they can actually play this, even if you haven't played the second Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So we got Ashley,
cool.
Hannah, and chat. We got Tyler. Yeah, it actually really is cool, I think, too. So there you go, guys. Torna, the Golden Country. As we learn more, too, we'll pass it along to you. And I also heard word of, I think Europe was getting a physical disc in their case or something, so I'm not quite sure what's going on exactly, but...
Well, yeah, that's unclear, too, because of that whole comment about the download code for the expansion pass. And people are saying, does that mean there's actually a cart for the Torna game? Or is that a code, too? So we'll find out eventually.
Know more. Yeah, eventually we'll find out. But hey, we have something new for Xenoblade Chronicles coming out, so that's good. So the Pokeball Plus, then, for Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, will come with Mew as a little bonus, I guess. So that's kind of a cool little bonus if you get that Pokeball Plus controller for the game. I heard actually it's a pretty cool use when you're playing that game too. It actually is pretty comfortable and fun to use. So if you guys are getting these games, let me know if you get the Pokeball Plus. I think I will, just for the heck of it. So but let's move on to Octopath Traveler. We have a new demo, and that's out already, yeah?
Yes, so that came out the other day, and so this is a demo that lets you play through the first chapters of any of the 8 characters, but you're also locked at 3 hours of in-game time. So I believe you can like start a separate save file to try a different character if you want. But when you start playing, you can go through the first chapters of as many characters as you can get to in 3 hours.
And you can actually use your save data then towards a full game, correct?
Yes, yes. So this is a prologue, so then you'll be able to transfer your data right to the game when it comes out in July.
Cool. I was actually surprised to have another demo for this game, so that's spectacular.
So I believe the old demo is gone now, so if you want to try it, you'll be getting this one.
For true. There's a lot of new things added into it, so check it out. All right, and then, of course, as we told you earlier, they closed with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which will include, I guess, every fighter ever from the series, right?
Yes, that's the big thing that they were emphasizing, that everyone is back.
Which is pretty cool. And I kind of felt they were going to go this way. They almost have to, thinking about the last game where you have all these cool third-party characters being added and some brought back that weren't in the series for a while. And if they kind of backtrack and make the roster smaller, people will not be happy. So they actually had to almost go this way to actually, I guess, kind of make fans hyped and happy at the same time. So we have Snake back, we have Wolf back, and Waluigi is getting a lot of love from people who want him in Smash Bros. But he's not, guys. He's not. But we'll talk more.
Of course, they also announced Ridley.
Yes, Ridley.
Wanted, and Daisy is coming too. Yep,
and of course we have the new Inklings from Splatoon. Plenty of options too with their color and hair and everything styles. That's pretty cool. And they're going to be, I think they actually announced too, they'll be doing a few more characters, I think, to be announced actually later on. So we'll have a few more to talk about probably before launch date here. And I was kind of surprised they actually went with the other design for Princess Zelda, not Breath of the Wild. What did you think about that?
I thought that was interesting. I kind of expected them to go with the newest design, but I think they did explain that they picked a different one because I can't remember what the reason was. Because the Breath of the Wild Zelda is more of a scholar, I think they said. So
yeah, I think it was something like that.
They wanted to go with one that would be more of a fighter, I guess.
Yeah. The new design of it looks really good though too. Anyway, so yeah, so that's cool. But we got a lot of Smash Bros to talk about with you guys later on in the questions. So I appreciate that very much with your questions, guys, that you submit to us. Let's move along to the E3 coverage for Nintendo. We have the Treehouse live streams. Nintendo announced a couple more arcade archives. And what games are these?
Yeah, so first of all, Arcade Archives Donkey Kong is available right now for $7.99. So this is the arcade version of Donkey Kong. And they also announced that another Arcade Archives title, which is Sky Skipper, will be coming in July.
Cool. Never heard of Sky Skipper. I looked it up too, and I found some old box art, but I didn't have enough time to actually make a graphic for that though. But so there you go.
Yeah. I looked it up and found out that apparently it wasn't very popular. So I guess it must have some fans if they're bringing it back now.
Yeah, when I heard Sky Skipper, I'm like, what is that? So I couldn't even find any artwork for it hardly, but so sorry there's nothing on the screen for you guys to see. But there we go. So that's coming in July then. Then we have some Mario Tennis Aces news from the Direct. They revealed that Koopa Trooper and Blooper will be added to Mario Tennis Aces in July and August. And we're getting, I think, the Paratroopa and Birdo, and I think one other as well later on after that too. So that'll be pretty cool as playable characters. And
yes, it's nice that they're adding more characters in.
And I mentioned on Twitter too, I'm not sure if you saw it, Samantha, that Birdo for the first time will be in HD.
Oh, yes, yes, I did see that.
Yeah, because she wasn't, or he or she wasn't in Mario Party 10. We last saw Birdo in Superstars, I believe, so on the 3DS. So there you go. Birdo will be in HD, guys. That's kind of scary. Let's move along then to the regular Nintendo Switch news of the week. And we got a ton of stuff to talk about too, kind of pre-E3 here, or even after E3, plus other kind of scattered E3 stuff, not from the Direct itself. But kick off with a pretty cool announcement here, and that is Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition coming to the Switch this winter then, right?
Yes, so this was announced during Microsoft's E3 conference. So people were wondering at first, is it going to be exclusive to the Xbox One? But no, it's coming to everything. So
that's good news.
That's good news. And yes, it's coming out this winter. No specific date yet. And for anyone who is familiar with the original Tales of Vesperia release, this is going to include all of the content that was in the PlayStation 3 release that never came out of Japan. So for the first time, we're getting that content, and it's on everything.
Hey, that's great news. So look forward to this winter, guys. We'll have a great game to play for the holidays. So we got Dank, Susumu, Hannah, Amber, and Chat. Hannah, good to see you again. Biwa, good to see you guys. We had some shout-outs for Chain Chomp from Mario Tennis Aces. You guys love Chain Chomp in that game. I can tell already. Probably be a pretty popular character. All right, move along to Bethesda announced the Elder Scrolls Legends coming to the Switch and other consoles later this year. This is actually a card game, right?
Yes.
This is a free-to-play card game. Awesome. So it looks pretty good. More card games for the Switch. I'll take it. Especially with all Elder Scrolls attached to it. That's kind of cool. I kind of want Concept as well eventually, but we'll see about that. All right, then we have, of course, Fallout Shelter, which came out, and that's available right now. This is a free game as well in the Switch eShop. And this is like a simulation-type game, basically, kind of like Sim Tower or whatever, where you have to set up your vaults. You can number it however you want, and then set up water plants, electricity plants, that kind of thing, and food areas and storage, and kind of manage all of that and get more people to your vault and keep them safe and happy. So that's pretty cool. It's available right now, thanks to Bethesda. I kind of expected more from Bethesda, but that's all we know about right now. So unfortunately, that's all we have, guys, for Bethesda. All right, then Devolver Digital actually announced My Friend Pedro for the Switch and PC. Now, what is My Friend Pedro?
Yeah.
Besides a funny name.
Even while watching the trailer. Yeah, so this is, I believe the official description describes it as a violent ballet. So you'll be moving around and twisting and shooting and defeating all of your enemies, and there's something about some sort of psychotic banana telling you what to do.
Interesting. Yeah, I have the graphic here. It says blood, bullets, and bananas. So it's a combo of those three things. Interesting. So check that out, guys, if you're interested in that. My Friend Pedro by Devolver Digital. Now we have D3 Publisher, which talked about a few podcasts back, I think. They had a countdown on their website for something, and it was revealed to be what?
Yeah, so this is a game called Disease Hidden Object, which despite the title, I'm not entirely sure if it's a hidden object game or not, but it appears at least to be some sort of horror adventure game where you'll be looking for items and looking for clues and things like that. So they revealed a little announcement trailer that gives a better idea of what it's like.
Interesting. All right. Then we have Limited Run Games. They actually did a small little conference at E3, I believe, or a presentation. I missed this. I have to look back at it and get some footage from this on YouTube. But
it was a weird conference.
Yeah, but hey, this is cool, though. We got a lot of great news from them in this little conference. Yes. So let's kick things off with these physical copies coming to the Switch, plus some new ones, too. What's the first one?
All right, so yeah, so the first one that they announced is one that I was hoping would get a physical release, which is Golf Story.
Yeah, very happy about that. Excellent. And then we have the next is Layers of Fear Legacy, which I think we reviewed. Or
yes, we reviewed and
as well?
discussed it here.
Yeah.
I believe we did do an interview leading up to it, yes.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think we did, yeah. So check those out, guys, on NintendoChitChat.com. So both of those are getting physical Switch releases. But again, these are all limited run from limited run. So once they announce it, make sure you're ready to go to order because they only have so many they make of these, and then it's done with for a while. So probably forever, perhaps. All right, then we have Thumper, and this is, I forget, I think this is the kind of racing rhythm game, if I recall.
Yes, I'll look it up to be sure. Yes, it's officially described as a rhythm violence game.
Oh, violence game, okay. But it looks pretty cool. I remember seeing some people play this on YouTube, some of my friends. So Thumper, getting a physical release from Limited Run Games. Then we have Oceanhorn, which is kind of the Zelda-type clone, I guess, in a sense. Getting a physical copy, which is available right now. So if you want a physical copy of Oceanhorn, last I checked, they had like 20% stock left. I got mine in right away when they announced it. So if you want that, get it right now, guys. And then what's the next one, Samantha?
Yeah, so the next one is Cosmic Star Heroine, which hadn't been announced for the Switch before. So this doubles as both an official announcement that it's coming to the Switch and an announcement of a physical copy.
And that's kind of cool. This company who makes these physical copies had some little surprises for us, which is really neat.
Yes.
I was actually kind of taken back by them. Like, that's really cool. So a little gem here for E3, I think, for us. All right. So we have also... oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that I backed Cosmic Star Heroine on Kickstarter,
Oh, did you?
which means that I got a PC copy and a PlayStation 4 copy that is cross-buy with the PlayStation Vita copy. So I probably don't need a fourth copy of this game.
Yeah, you're pretty much
exciting to see.
That's really cool. Well, hey, you got 3. That's enough for you, I guess, right? That's awesome. All right, then we have Yooka-Laylee, which came out for the Switch in the eShop, I think, a little while back. That's also getting a physical copy. We just had a new subscriber hype, so thanks. Welcome to the channel. All right, then, of course, we know about Night Trap, the 25th Anniversary Edition, also getting physical copies. This is a game I'm looking forward to here. This is one of those kind of live, full-motion video games, guys, so look forward to that. And then what's the last one we have?
Yes, the last one was another new announcement that they hadn't announced for the Switch before, and that is Dust and Elysian Tale. So that will be coming to the Switch and getting a physical copy from Limited Run Games.
Cool. So yeah, it was pretty cool, pretty surprising there to see these guys do a little presentation and announce these things with some little surprises added in. So there you go, guys.
Yes.
Again, if you want these games, follow them on Twitter. They're always pretty much prepared with announcing, or go to the website too, of what's coming up, what's scheduled. And you can also get notifications right away too to your email or whatever, so you know when it's going to be live to snatch up those pre-orders for yourself. All right, then we have Ubisoft. They announced Trials Rising for all major platforms in February. And we've actually played out one of their games about a month or 2 ago. It was Urban Trial Playground. So this is one of the newer games for this series. It's like a motocross game where you have to do stunts and platforming. It's pretty cool, pretty challenging as well. So that was a new announcement for them. And then we have a football game coming to the Switch, but it's not Madden. What is this, Samantha?
Yeah, so this, yes, Mutant Football League has been announced for the Switch.
Awesome. I think this is already out then on other consoles, so it's probably getting ported over from there. So, hey, the Switch will have a football game at least, so there you go. Mutant Football League. It actually looks pretty cool, I must say so myself. So there you go. Football, not quite what you wanted, though, if you're looking for Madden, unfortunately. All right, moving back along to another Atelier game. We have a spin-off now in the works. I'm very hyped for this. What's this called?
Yeah, so this is called Nelk and the Legendary Alchemist, Atelier of the New Land. So this is a town-building RPG, actually. And they mentioned that characters from the previous games in the series will come to visit your town as you build it up. So that's only been announced for Japan so far, but I think most of the games in the series have been localized lately, so hopefully we'll hear something soon.
Yeah, I think NAS brought us the latest Lydia and Sewell, The Alchemist Mysterious Paintings, which I'm still playing through on the channel. I'm about 45 hours in now. I'm actually enjoying it pretty much, so look for those episodes to start airing on our channel here in the next month or so. So looking forward to this kind of town-building game, which is a little bit different for the series. A little spin-off, so that's cool. Then we have some Yokai Watch to talk about. What's the latest here, Samantha?
All right, so they had announced quite a while ago, I believe, that Yokai Watch 4 would be coming to the Switch. Well, they're going to show it for the first time on June 23rd. And then there's also another sort of Yokai Watch announcement coming on June 27th, although from some teasers that they've done, it seems like that one's going to be a mobile game. But at least on June 23rd, we'll be hearing about Yokai Watch 4.
Okay, very cool. So that's some good news there. All right, guys, we'll take a short break with you, and we'll come back with Samantha. You guys in chat, we'll be doing a poll here as well before we go to break. All right, make sure you guys vote. This poll is pretty simple this week. It's the grade for Nintendo at E3. So grade their entire presentation for E3 plus the Treehouse, the Direct as well. Give them an A, B, C, or D in the poll, which pops into chat right now, so go vote away. We'll come back with you guys in a moment. Stay tuned.
You're listening to the Nintendo Chit Chat podcast with your host, Eddy Ray and Samantha Lienhard. Grab the audio version of the Nintendo Chit Chat podcast on iTunes, Google Music, SoundCloud, or Player FM. Visit our website at NintendoChitChat.com and catch up on everything Nintendo. You're listening to the Nintendo Chit Chat podcast with your hosts, Eddy Ray and Samantha Lienhard.
All right, we're back in action, guys, with you. So we have the poll in chat right now. So I want you to grade E3 for Nintendo. That includes the Direct, the Treehouse, all of their presentation for those 3 days. And we'll have one of the mods let us know here in the next few minutes of what the answer is. So A, B, C, or D. I didn't include F because, well, frankly, that's kind of trolling at that point, I think. But we saw Ashley in chat earlier too. So we got Fluffy, Hannah, Frank, Tyler. Good to see all of you guys. Thanks for being here with us on episode 24. Smash Bros. Ultimate E3 Wrap-Up is the title for this week. And we got Samantha back with us, so welcome back, Samantha.
Thank you.
We got the poll closing here in a few seconds, so we'll probably take care of that first. But, so after the Yokai Watch news here, we have, I think it was Konami announced a new game then, right?
Yes, well, sort of a new game. So this is a game called Hyper Sports R, which I believe is a remake of an old game they had called Hyper Sports.
Okay, and any more details for this? Is there going to be any kind of online play or anything like that we know of?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. It'll be about competing in different events, and I believe they mentioned there's going to be things like track and swimming and things like that. So it seems like a very old-style sports game, but now being remade.
Okay, I'll have to keep my eyes on this. I'm kind of I kind of like sport games, but we'll see how this works. I was hoping from Konami like a Castlevania collection or something, but I guess it's too much to ask for at this point. But who knows? We'll see how this does.
Maybe someday.
Yeah, someday. So we got people in chat saying, so grade B, cool. That's what I thought would win. That's what did win. So you guys gave Nintendo a grade for E3, a B. Sounds pretty reasonable to me as well. And we'll talk to Samantha about that a little bit later on with regarding the whole E3 from Nintendo. So let's move along to the rest of the news here with you guys. So Hypersports R. Then we have a really cool thing to keep your eyes on. This is called Ninjala. Who announced this?
Yeah, so this is by Gung Ho Online Entertainment. They had mentioned that they were going to have a new Switch game, and so I guess this was it. So this is a player versus player action game where you play as ninjas who use gum to fight.
It looks really cool, and I must say that they must be taking a similar approach here to Splatoon. The art style looks kind of similar,
yes.
And a little bit so, yeah.
Yes, definitely, with the appearance and the aesthetics, definitely a Splatoon.
And I think that's why people have a lot of hype for this game.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a mixture between ARMS and Splatoon, almost like Hannah says, yeah. But it looks pretty good, actually. I watched some footage of this, and keeping your eyes on Ninjala. Pretty interesting name and concept, too, so that's pretty cool. That's from Gung Ho Online Entertainment. All right. Then we have a retro first-person shooter. This is called Dusk, coming to the Switch, and this is a really old game, I believe. I'm not quite sure if they're going to be remastering this or whatever. Or
I think it's a new game, isn't it?
Is it a new game? I thought it was pretty old.
I mean, it might be a new game made to look like an old game.
That could be. I thought I looked it up earlier. Maybe I was wrong. Let's look it up here really quick.
Yeah, check quick.
Yep.
Yeah, so this came out in January on the PC.
Okay, so it's a new one.
So
It looks to look old.
by things like Quake. So I think it's, yeah.
So it is fairly new then. Okay, yeah, it looks almost too old in the picture here to have any interest for me.
Yes, but it's intentionally looking old. It's intentionally trying to imitate those older shooters.
Intentionally for a lower budget, as far as I'm concerned. But okay, so it's dusk. Move along to the next one is Grim Fandango Remastered coming to the Switch. So we have that also in the news. And what kind of game is this? I think we mentioned this podcast or two back, I think. Do you recall?
Grim Fandango?
Yeah.
So that's an adventure game, an old-style point-and-click adventure game.
Okay, point-and-click.
Something to do with being in the world of the dead.
Okay. That's going to be remastered then. That's pretty cool. Then we have Pub Encounter.
And I should mention that is by Tim Schafer for people who like those games. It was a Tim Schafer game released by LucasArts originally. So this is then the remastered version.
Awesome. So then you have Pub Encounter available right now for $16.99. Do you know what kind of game this is? What's Pub Encounter? Do you know?
Yeah, so that is a otome visual novel. So you play a female protagonist. I believe in this one, the sort of hook is that all the men are middle-aged or something like that. So romance with lots of middle-aged men.
And a pub and drinks, apparently. Okay. So enjoy that, guys. You'll be pre-ordering that right now, won't you? Let me know. It's actually available right now.
Just wait until this next title.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think we mentioned this last episode. I forget.
I don't think we did.
I forget. Go ahead. Take it away.
Yes. All right. So this is a game that is available now in Japan, and it is sort of a combination shooter, battle royale, vertical shoot 'em up or something like that. Battle royale, maybe not vertical. Shoot 'em up battle royale, and the title is Sisters Royale. I'm being harassed by 5 sisters and it sucks.
I kind of recall that title. I think we may have mentioned it maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, but yeah, this is crazy. That title is insane. That's the title, guys. She's not saying that her sisters are harassing her or whatever. It's the actual title of the game. So we have a screenshot of the game. Looks pretty intense. So that's Sisters Royale. I'm being harassed by 5 sisters, and it sucks. Say that 10 times fast, and I'll give you a free piece of candy. All right. Then we have some big news then. This has caught my ears and attention. So Panic Button has a big announcement for a pretty solid or pretty big game for a Switch port, and this will be announced in July. Is that right?
Yes, and so this is the company that ported Doom, Wolfenstein, and Rocket League to the Switch, and we don't know what the next one is, but they did call it a major port, so it should be something big.
And yeah, they're a pretty capable team of devs too. As we know, Doom, Wolfenstein look really good. They run really well. So does Rocket League, actually, the last updates we've had to the game. So I'm looking forward to this. I've heard that they've been working on this port for several years. I'm not sure if that's true or not. But if true, what would ring a bell to me would be Grand Theft Auto. I think would be 5, I guess, because that came out several years ago. If they've been working on this port for several years, that kind of makes sense. But who knows? That is my guess.
Yeah, so that wouldn't. I was thinking, maybe the new Doom, maybe one of the new Wolfenstein games. But if they've been working on it for years, probably not.
Right, yeah, that's what I've heard. I'm not sure if that's true or not, though. I'm not sure of any other sources. I've heard it from a few friends, but that was about it. So I can't really find any info about that. If you guys know, let me know. And let me know in chat what you think, too. Dank says he's hoping it's Fallout 3. That's cool. Call of Duty. We'll see. I do hope we get Doom Eternal as well, but I don't think they're going to be announcing that right now. They'll probably announce it closer to maybe the launch of Doom Eternal, I would think. Maybe down the line, but we'll see about that. All right, and then we have another announcement here. This is Fitness Boxing. Never heard of this. What is Fitness Boxing? I mean, I know what it is by the title, but...
Yeah, so this is coming to the Switch worldwide this winter, and it seems like sort of a boxing simulation game. The impression I've gotten is that you'll hold a Joy-Con in each hand and follow instructions to simulate boxing moves.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I couldn't find any graphics for this at all, or even logos, so there you go, guys. We're on to release dates right now with Samantha. We got Christina and Yoshi and our sponsor, JKW, Anita. Good to see you guys, and Demetrius. All right, guys, so let's move along then to these release dates. We got a bunch of them here. I'll go through a few of them here. We got Bloons TD5. So what is Bloons TD5, Samantha?
Well, the TD stands for Tower Defense. So
okay, that's right.
It's a Bloons. If you're familiar with the Bloons puzzle games, this is the Tower Defense branch of the series, I guess. So yes, I think there might be another one on the Switch. I'm not positive. Or maybe
I think
not.
we talked
Anyway.
about one, but I think it was this one before.
Oh well, anyway,
so.
it's out now. That was June 13th.
June
So
13th.
Bloons Tower Defense 5 is out now.
Excellent. So grab that if you're interested. Then, of course, a lot of us know the Octo expansion DLC for Splatoon 2 in North America is out right now. Other regions were yesterday, so I know a lot of you are playing that, and thanks to Nintendo, I got a little pass provided to me, and I'm enjoying it a lot. It's pretty challenging, too. I'm not very far in, but I know GKW finished it in about a day, probably several hours it took. There are pretty challenging things happening in these missions, 80+ missions plus boss battles, too. So Octo expansion goes for $19.99. It's available right now, guys, for Splatoon 2. Okay. Moving along, we talked about Pode a while back, a few times actually. Release date for this is June 21st, so 6 days from now. Then, of course, we have Donkey Kong Adventure DLC for Mario & Rabbids Kingdom Battle coming on June 26th. All right, Samantha, what's the next 2 dates?
All right, so yes, the next one date actually, because 2 games coming out both on June 28th. One is Galaxy, which I believe we talked about recently. The Galaxy, I can't remember what the subtitle is right now, but so that is coming out June 28th, and so is Angels of Death, which is the sort of horror adventure game that we discussed previously as well.
Yeah, I think Galaxy was the dimensional. I think the graphic says that, so I think that was a subtitle for that game.
No, because there was. Let me look it up. Oh, this is. Hold on a second.
Because there's many.
This was like the variant S. This is when they did the variant M, variant S thing. So this is Galaxy variant S.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, I remember that now. Okay, very good. All right, so Angels of Death, you mentioned June 28th for $14.99. All right. Then we have some bad news regarding Nekopara. It's been delayed. Any other news for that?
It's only been delayed until July 4th, so
July
that's not
4th.
too bad. I believe it was originally planned for June 21st, maybe? So,
okay, so a couple of weeks.
Terribly long release.
Probably more positioning than anything regarding other releases, I would think, rather than actual the game itself. So there you go. All right, then a pretty cool game I'm looking forward to. Little Dragon's Cafe from North America is coming on August 24th. So about 2 months away. Looking forward to that. We've talked a lot about that on the channel the last several podcasts regarding updates and trailers and things like that. So looking forward to that one. And then October 9th, we get Disgaea 1 Complete in North America. It'll be October 12th for Europe. And then we have October 16th being, drumroll here, what?
Starlink Battle for Atlas, which we'll be discussing a little later on in the article, since we learned some unexpected things about that at E3.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think Ubisoft had a pretty good E3 there, so that's pretty cool.
Yes, they did.
All right, moving along, then we have My Hero 1 Justice being just October. No actual specific date yet, but we have the month of October for that one. Then we also have September 18th. We have Labyrinth of Refrain, Coven of Dusk for North America. September 21st for Europe for that, Labyrinth of Refrain. And then we have the fall. The World Ends With You Final Remix. So we know that's coming this fall. That's good news.
Yes.
Nothing specific yet, though, but as we learn it, we'll pass it along for that one. And then, of course, kind of a bummer here, but I can understand it. 2019, the Yoshi game, which is kind of not actual named yet, it's just called Yoshi.
Right.
It's been delayed till 2019. So I have a feeling they'll probably be taking Yoshi and probably replacing that one around the Kirby timeline we had this year. So I would probably think maybe February next year. I'm just guessing out of the blue here with that one, but we'll see. So that's been delayed.
I don't think they officially announced the delay either. I think they just quietly
2019.
changed the release date on the website.
Yeah, They don't want it to get buried like in the holiday Smash and Super Mario. So I can see that happening. 2019 probably is a better fit for this game. So, all right. Then we got trailers and details, guys. We have like 4 of them here in our lineup. So we've got some E3 trailers actually for Team Sonic Racing. We have a new trailer for that linked on our website at NintendoChitChat.com. And I was disappointed in some of the coverage for this game. People were not quite sure what to think about this because they didn't actually let you play with people. It was all like single player with AI. And this is kind of a team-based game.
That's kind of odd.
Yeah, so they're using wisps and items and that kind of thing. And you can actually, I think you can substitute or give items to your teammates. But playing with AI is kind of lame. Like, they didn't have any teammates set up. You couldn't play with friends or whatever on the floor. So kind of not sure what to think about this yet. We'll learn more as we pass it along. All right. We got Starlink then. Battle for Atlas will include Switch exclusive Star Fox content. And what is the content that we know about?
Yeah, so I believe the basic idea is that you'll be able to play as the Star Fox characters, I think, for the entire game. I mean, there's going to be some sort of exclusive missions as well, but I think I read that you'll be able to actually play as Fox for the entire game.
I think so as well, yeah. There's actually a starter pack you can actually get then too, which has some of the toys included, and that's available for pre-order as we speak. I think I got mine on GameStop, so it's probably available elsewhere too. So that was pretty good news. What did you think when you first saw the little trailer, the little teaser for this? Did you hear some Star Fox sound effects in there somewhere?
I was pretty surprised because I was watching it. I remembered Starlink from last year. Like, all right, yeah, this is that toy spaceship games to life sort or toys to life sort of thing. So I was watching. Okay, I know this. And suddenly there's Star Fox stuff going on, and I was thinking, did I miss something? Did we switch to a different trailer? What's going on?
That was really a little teaser and a really cool surprise, I think. So this looks actually really good to me. And Star Fox fits really well within this universe. So that is Starlink Battle for Atlas. Check out the trailers, guys, on our website. We have all links to you right there for you. All right. Then Valkyria Chronicles 4 also has an E3 trailer. Did we see anything new regarding this game in the trailer?
No, I don't think anything in particular. I think it was just a general sort of basic trailer.
Okay. All right. And then more Little Dragon's Cafe. We have a new Japanese trailer which will actually launch for that as well at E3. All right, and then we have a couple games to talk about regarding updates and DLC to close out our news for the day and also wrap up E3 here in the News Bites. What's the first one for updates and DLC, Samantha?
Yeah, so the first thing is that when the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy comes out, is that this month, I believe it might be?
Yeah, June 29th, I believe.
Right. Yeah, so when that comes out, it's going to include an all-new level called Future Tense. And then the downloadable bonus level that was for the PlayStation 4 version with Stormy Descent, that will also be coming as well.
Awesome. So looking forward to actually have my trilogy pre-ordered already, but go ahead, Samantha.
I don't think they specified if Future Tense is going to be a download or if it's coming with it. I know it's going, I believe the PlayStation 4 version, since that's already out, people are going to be able to download Future Tense, but I'm not sure if the Switch version is coming with it or if it'll be a free download.
Okay, we'll probably figure that out as it gets closer to launch too. We'll pass it along. All right, and then of course, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, some more news here. The expansion pass owners will get the challenge mode content on June 14th, which was yesterday. And what else regarding the blades, actually?
Yes, so the big surprise when they were showing this is that it's not only a challenging battle mode, but it also comes with Shulk and Fiora from the first Xenoblade Chronicles as blades. So you can use them in this challenge mode, and then I believe there's an item you can get for playing the challenge mode that will then let you take them into the main game.
Very cool. So lots of hype here with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. A lot of great content coming for it. And that wraps up, guys, this section. That's the News Bites E3 wrap-up. We have a lot more to talk about here regarding your questions, our Player of the Week for the Spotlight, and the Time Portal as well. We'll come back in about a minute with Samantha, and you guys, stay tuned.
You're listening to the Nintendo Chit-Chat podcast with your hosts, Eddy Ray and Samantha Lienhard. We'll be right back after the short break. Grab the audio version of the Nintendo Chit-Chat podcast on iTunes, Google Music, SoundCloud, or Player FM. Support this podcast by blasting that like button, sharing the stream, and subscribing right now. You're listening to the Nintendo Chit-Chat podcast with your hosts, Eddy Ray and Samantha Lienhard.
Alright guys, welcome back to episode 24 of the Nintendo Chit-Chat podcast. Thanks for joining us. We got a great crew out there today. Good to see you all. I am watching chat as we talk, and I'm like a DJ back here, guys. All the contests that we're doing. Content we're doing. Contest, my gosh. But welcome back, Samantha. Contest, what's going on in my head? I have no idea. I was thinking of giving away stuff, I guess, in the future. But let's talk about some questions which we have, thanks to all of you in Discord. And by email, too, which is good, too. So if you want to submit a question for the podcast, do so by emailing us, NintendoChitChat@gmail.com, or going to our Discord, joining up there, and hashtag NCC-podcast. The more you ask, the better. That way we can actually pick the good ones. No offense. Now we can kind of streamline the questions to how it fits the podcast and that theme for the week. So we got a bunch of questions here, kind of a variety of things too, Samantha. So let's kick things off here. Let me get my setup with you here really quick. Okay, we're good to go. All right. So the first question comes from Dank. Dank has been asking a lot of questions here, so we picked one of these today for the podcast. What was one thing that you liked about Nintendo? Regarding the E3 Direct specifically, so not the Treehouse, not anything else, just the Nintendo E3 Direct. Samantha, your turn. You go first.
Well, this will be starting to get into the next question a little bit as well. But for me, one of the standout moments was seeing the Super Mario Party trailer and realizing that there is no car, seeing them on the board, being able to walk around.
Yeah, I was very happy to see that.
That was a great standout moment for me.
I think what kind of caught me and got me in the mood for the Direct was just the start with the first game, Daemon X Machina. Looked pretty good to me. And plus I had some really good rad kind of rock metal music to it, I think, which kind of kicked things off. And again, I wasn't quite sure what it was. Even though I thought it was Xenoblade Chronicles X at first, I wasn't let down by it, so looking forward to that mech game. So that's kind of cool about it. I also liked that was 45 minutes long. But I wish there were some other announcements. My only kind of dislike about it. We can talk more about that too if you want. So then I'll ask you, Samantha, what did you not like about the Direct?
Yeah, I didn't like how few new announcements there were. There was only a couple new games really announced. And then the second half was so focused on Smash that I guess that's great if you're a big Smash fan and want to know all the details. But I was hoping for a lot more announcements. So when it got over, my first thought was, that can't be it, can it?
Right. Yeah, people are like, where's Animal Crossing, that kind of thing too. But looking back at this though too, they really wanted to focus on 2018 games for the rest of this year. And I can kind of see, well, if Animal Crossing's not going to be this year, then why waste that opportunity to announce it now, especially with Smash maybe kind of taking some of that hype away. So
I guess,
yeah. But yeah, I kind of agree though, there was lesser announcements than I thought we were going to have. But then again, thinking about this way, E3 is less and less important in the scheme of things, I believe, to companies in general nowadays, where you have these directs you can do on your own, on YouTube or Twitch or whatever, and you can do press releases or events all year round, really, and announce things, which is happening with companies doing pre-E3 stuff and post-E3 stuff now, too. So, but yeah, so let's go to the next question then. So thanks, Dank, for that one. Good discussion. Let's see here. And let me know in chat, too, guys. What was your favorite thing about the Direct? What was the thing you didn't like about it, too? All right, so Susu asks, what are your thoughts on Super Mario Party? So Samantha mentioned earlier, but go ahead, Samantha. What do you like about seeing this title announced for the Switch and coming out in October?
Yes, I might get it. I haven't gotten a Mario Party game since the GameCube, but it looked pretty good. I was, like I said, very happy to see that there's no car. This traditional gameplay is back. That thing they have where you put the two Switches together and play the games in tabletop mode, that looked interesting. Yeah. Sort of just like from that's a cool use of the technology. So yeah, I think it looks pretty great. I was excited by that news.
Yeah, same here. There was a patent somebody found that Nintendo had from a year or two ago, showing screens kind of touching one another, and they actually used the patent in a game, which is really cool. So we see that kind of game from Super Mario Party, one of the mini games, and using that kind of gameplay mechanic. That's really neat to see. I like also they're adding an online component finally to the game too. So you can connect online, I think, just in the mini games, which is cool. That's fair. That's fine. We actually have online now being added into Mario Party, so that's great. And I'm actually really excited for this game. It'll be a really good holiday title, or actually late fall title for us. So super hyped about Super Mario Party. Can't really complain about it right now because what I've seen, I'm pretty happy with.
Yes.
People are saying Mario Party 10 was kind of bad. Yeah,
Mm.
I think so too. It wasn't that great. I think Star Rush is one of the better ones of recent times, but still, that wasn't the best. And of course, we had Mario Party, the Top 100, which had some mini games from all the past games, which is pretty cool. But again, I think they're going in the right direction here with the Switch games recently, especially with Super Mario Party. So thanks, Susumu, for the question. Excellent question. We have Fluffy saying he's really excited for Mario Party. And Island Tour sucked. Second says, yeah, I wasn't too happy with Island Tour either. So those are some 3DS Mario Party games. But we're moving in the right direction, I think. So that's great. All right, and then our final question of the day from Golden Hawk. He asks, what are your thoughts on Waluigi in general? And I think he's hinting towards Smash Bros. Here. I'm not sure. But Samantha, what do you think of Waluigi, the character?
I think sort of my problem is that he hasn't really done enough for me to have much of an opinion on Waluigi. Like, he's just sort of, he shows up in Mario Kart.
He's just there,
like
right?
Yeah, he's just there. So I have nothing against Waluigi, but I don't really like Waluigi a lot because he just hasn't done anything. So I think they should probably do something with him.
Right.
But, yeah, they just haven't used him very much except as we have a large roster full of characters, so here's one more.
Right, so you see him in Mario Tennis, Mario Party games, some other spin-off games. Of course, he's the kind of the evil guy towards Luigi, being Waluigi. But yeah, I kind of feel the same way. He's not, like, if he would be in Smash, like, what's his moveset going to be? You really have to make it, like, specific to the character, and we don't know much about the character, really, per se. What have we seen in the past that would give you a really good moveset for Waluigi in Smash? What would be the moveset? Let me know in chat.
Oh boy.
But yeah, so you guys, we need a little Waluigi taco stand, JKW says. But yeah, so as far as the question goes, just in general, it's kind of like a meh, kind of like, I don't want to say, I guess, Daisy in a sense. I don't know. Daisy's kind of just there as well, kind of supporting roles in a sense. So, but you kind of need these characters to be in that sense, kind of just there. You don't have Toad in Smash either, so. There you go. And Toad has his own game, too, coming to the Switch and 3DS again in Treasure Tracker, so there you go. Thanks for your questions, guys. We had Susumu, Dank, and Gold with those 3 questions. Keep asking away, guys, on Discord or by email. Again, we pick or choose 3 or 4 questions per episode, so thanks very much for that. We kind of give them a little bit of a flavor to the podcast with your questions, so I appreciate it very much. All right, so move along to the Player Spotlight and the Time Portal for this week, which is episode 20, which is really cool. Player Spotlight for this week is K. Merrill, 8275, or is it 76? I think it's 75. And there we go. K. Merrill is on the screen, so give a shout out to him on Discord, guys. He's on Discord once in a while, especially in RPG Maker Fez, and some of the other channels that we have on Discord, so wish him luck. And tell him right now, he is now Player Spotlight for this week on the channel. He's binge-watched all of our podcasts the past 2 weeks by commenting to me about doing so. So that's pretty good support from him, and I appreciate that very, very much. So give him some love in Discord as well if you can. That is K. Merrill, 8276. He's very much looking forward to the Switch version of the next RPG Maker game as well, hopefully coming to the Switch. We heard was announced, kind of, and wasn't announced, so we'll see about that. All right, guys, let's go to the Time Portal with Samantha, diving back into history here regarding Nintendo. We have 4 great games to talk to you about. So, Samantha, kick things into gear here for us for the Time Portal issue 20. What's the first one for us?
All right, so we're starting out with June 11th, because June 11th, 2001 was when Castlevania Circle of the Moon came out in North America. And so this actually, I found out, was a launch title for the Game Boy Advance in all regions. So when the Game Boy Advance came out in Japan, that's when Circle of the Moon came out in Japan. When the Game Boy Advance came out here, that's when Circle of the Moon came out here, and the same across all the regions.
Awesome. So I didn't actually know it was a launch game. That's pretty interesting. I love Castlevania, and again, I wish we had a collection of Castlevania. Konami, yes. Are you listening? Sports are okay, but give us a collection like Mega Man collection. Give us a Castlevania collection. We could use it. All right, and going to the next one then, we have StarCraft 64 for the Nintendo 64. And what year was this?
Yeah, so this was June 13th, 2000, and I wasn't familiar with this actually, that StarCraft was brought to the Nintendo 64 as a special redesigned version that had a new mission unique to this version, and also a split screen co-op mode with a redesigned interface to use the Nintendo 64 controls.
Yeah, I didn't actually know there was a 64 version either until you had this in the time portal. I'm familiar with StarCraft. I played StarCraft actually back in the days of Warcraft. I played those series quite a bit actually. They're kind of real-time strategy games. And yeah, StarCraft 64, June 13th, 2000. So that is really cool with the different modes they added into the game and new missions. And that is really neat, StarCraft 64. So there you go, some history in our time portal. And speaking of history, we got some more actually too. What is this one, Samantha?
Yes, so this is June 14th, 2015, which isn't actually too far back, but this was when not during E3 yet, but right ahead of it during the Nintendo World Championships, Nintendo casually announced that the original Mother was coming to the Wii U eShop in English as Earthbound Beginnings.
Yeah, and that was a pretty memorable E3 as well with those World Championships. We had some really awesome competition during that time. Kind of want to go back and watch some of those from the past. So there we go, Earthbound Beginnings again. The Wii U eShop is now having this game still. So if you haven't played it, go to the Wii U eShop right now. Earthbound Beginnings. English version, finally. All right. And then, of course, June 16th. This is a really interesting title. I've never heard of this, but this follows in footsteps of something we talked about last week, I believe.
Yes.
And this is Flower, Sun, and Rain. And this came out in North America on June 16th of what year?
Yeah, so this was 2009. And so last week we were talking about Killer 7, and it was a while back that we had our review of the Silver Case, the sequel, The 25th Ward. Well, in that same series is Flower, Sun, and Rain, which was ported to the Nintendo DS, first in Japan in 2008, but then, like we said, in 2009 it came to North America. And so this adapted the adventure game mechanics to use the touchscreen. It seems like reviewers were kind of critical of it, but now people kind of remember it a little more fondly.
Very cool. So that pretty much wraps up the time portal here. Any last thoughts for this issue, Samantha?
For the time portal specifically, or
the time portal for specifically for the time portal. Anything that you were researching kind of caught you off guard besides StarCraft 64?
Oh, well, the one thing that, well, actually, yes, a couple of things that stood out to me was when I was looking at the Castlevania thing, I found out that in 2002 they removed Circle of the Moon from the timeline. The official Castlevania timeline does not include it anymore because they said it is a standalone game. Huh. And so, yes. And the other interesting thing that people might have heard before is that Earthbound Beginnings, when that came out, it was sort of a big deal, but actually they had fully translated it in 1991 and just canceled it. So they had that translation sitting around for a while.
Yeah, it's just really, it's odd to me in a sense. They just kind of sat on that. I'm not sure why. They probably thought it wouldn't sell or something. I have no idea. Why would they do that?
Yes.
But sometimes you just got to go with the flow, I guess, with things. But really intriguing things, guys. So go to the website, and you can read everything about the time portal we covered here today for issue 20. And again, we'll be back next week with issue 21. In fact, for next week, we'll be here Wednesday. So we'll have a little bit shorter of a week with you guys. But Samantha will be away Thursday through Sunday. So we'll see you guys next Wednesday at 6 o'clock for episode 25. As we close things out here, Samantha, anything you want to talk about regarding E3 before we kind of wrap up the episode?
Not about E3 specifically, but just one little comment I wanted to mention is that I saw the chat discussing a little bit the exclusivity of Crash. And so I wanted to point out that Crash Bandicoot as a series hasn't been a Sony exclusive in almost 16 years. That series went multi-platform in 2002.
Right, a long time ago.
There were even games in the series like exclusive to the Game Boy Advance and things like that. So the original 3 going multi-platform isn't as big of a deal as it might have seemed at first.
Right, and that was generations ago already with consoles. So, but cool. Thanks for that, Samantha. All right, so we'll see you then next week on Wednesday, and thanks for doing everything you do. And wish her a great weekend, guys. Take care, Samantha.
All right. Have a good weekend.
You too. All right, guys. Thanks very much for watching the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Episode 24 E3 wrap-up. This will be available audio only in about an hour or so on SoundCloud, Player FM, iTunes, Google Play Music, and more. I'm Eddy Ray for NintendoChitChat.com. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Visit our website at NintendoChitChat.com and catch up on everything Nintendo. Grab the audio version of the Nintendo Chit Chat podcast on iTunes, Google Music, SoundCloud, or Player FM.